Hopefully you can hear me over my freeze dryer, but this is real life and it's in my kitchen. So this is one of my favorite months of the year because it is also my version of Christmas when I pick up my big bulk meat order. But I also did a really big stock of Azure Standard. The only thing, it was supposed to be a $700+ order, but my 2 cases of butter did not ship, and I've been trying to get it since July. So I have to pick up butter from Costco. Otherwise, this cost me $512, and I feel like August, September, October, I like to do some stocking up so I can go to the store less in the winter. And also things like cranberries and butters get harder to order from Azure just because everyone's doing holiday baking. So I try to stock up in the fall, so if something doesn't ship or I don't actually need something, then I'm not disappointed when it doesn't ship. So I'm gonna share my Azure order, and in a few days we're gonna pick up my bulk meat order, which is including, this year we did grass-fed beef instead of grain-finished beef, a lamb, which I've never bought before, a whole hog, and 2 dozen whole chickens. So I'm very excited about that. My husband always jokes that it's my version of Christmas, but it just feels good to have the freezer stocked and then the pantry stocked back up. So we go into winter. And I've also been saving things from the garden. So I feel really good about going into winter this year. I feel like I have enough that I won't have to go to the store all the time and to keep running out. So I've spent the last year really trying to buy more. And as a large family of 9, it's just, the kids are getting big. I feels like every year I'm adjusting a little bit because I have 5 boys and a husband, but also just as a large family, you just don't know how much you're gonna go through everything. So I'll show you my Azure haul. I did order an iherb to get some dishwasher soap. That is the most of my grocery shopping this month, except for a small haul. I'll get some milk and fill up our water for our water filtration system. But this is the bulk because this is a very expensive month. This will be the bulk of my grocery shopping. I got a 3-pack of the Stacy's Organic Flour Tortillas. This is a first for me. I bought these hash browns because my husband likes to cook on the weekends and do a breakfast, and he really likes to use hash browns. So I got a small pack to see if he likes it. If he does, then I'll buy the big one and then just separate it and put it in the freezer. It's coming up on fall, and I bought a 5-pound bag of frozen cranberries. This is for Thanksgiving, but also cranberry orange muffins. I only bake in the fall the cranberry orange muffins when cranberries are fresh. So these, I'll make a bunch of those to have muffins in the freezer. I was reading about how important it is to go back to non-synthetic fabrics and stuff. So I bought these to try under my dresses for winter. I've heard really good things about e-cloth, and these were on sale, so I grabbed 2 for dusting around the house. So I'm hoping they work and help me easily dust the house. 3 packs of green beans and 3 of the corn to have in overstock. I bought this, actually I want to try this in some baking, but also in some homemade flavored coffee creamer. I usually just use whole milk, but I thought that for baking I have that on hand. This is our favorite soap. It is the Sapo Hill. This is the aloe vera. I like this one in winter because it moisturizes the skin. I tried to get the lemon ginger, but they were out, but I still grabbed 2 of the lime when I do some taco nights, or the kids like to put this just in their water as some flavor. A bunch of baking stuff, so arrowroot powder I use as a thickener sometimes instead of flour when I make like shepherd's pie and things, and when I make cobblers from frozen fruit, the arrow powder helps thicken it a little bit better than regular flour, so I like to keep that. Cocoa powder, and I thought I bought powdered sugar too, so I need to check that, but I bought cocoa powder and powdered sugar to make a batch of homemade hot cocoa, so I got that. Whole milk powder, I like to have this on hand also for trying this year to make homemade cocoa, but I also use this if I'm low on fresh milk. We're not a huge milk drinker, but I like to have this so when I make my bread recipe that uses milk, I can also use this as a backstock. Some kidney beans for chili, some baking powder. I was getting low, so I've been trying to do that. Dry roasted peanuts. So not gonna start this right away, but I did get this so I could make some peanut butter myself because it is cheaper, and we just go through a lot. With a large family, we just go through a lot of peanut butter. So this will help cut down cost if I can get it to work. We're out of red lentils, and we love red lentil soup, and I'll throw this sometimes in other soups because once it cooks down, it's almost like it disappears, and it's a protein. I had seen good things about this, but I use my half-gallon jars and make lemonade or maybe some chocolate milk or something, and this will be a little bit easier because I feel like when the half-gallon jars get cold, it kind of can slip in your hands a little bit, and with little kids trying to help, this will be easier to use and a little bit more controlled, so we don't have to deal with really big spills or broken glass. A bunch of spices. So cardamom, I used to get this in big 1-pound bags, but it got so expensive. So this little jar is still like $12 or $13, but I make a cardamom bun recipe that uses cardamom, and everyone in my family likes it, so I want to continue. So I got this for now. I got purple echinacea for some tea. Lemongrass also, but I heard things about cooking with lemongrass, so I grabbed one of those. Garlic powder, you can't ever have enough. And then I was completely out of cumin seed, so I use that in a lot of recipes, including our red lentil soup that we like. And then I got onion powder also. I really like this sriracha. Not everyone in my house likes this as hot sauce, but I like that it has good bacteria in it also, so I for sure use this. Some of my other older children will eat this sometimes too. 2 things of cheese, Colby and mozzarella, and this baby thing of Parmesan cheese, but that's okay. And I got some ginger. So I will cook with this, but I also will go through and cut this into knobs and just put it in the freezer still in this bag, but I'll cut it into knobs because I add this to my broth, and then I like to just grate it from frozen when I do recipes. That way I know it doesn't go bad in the refrigerator. And then my favorite honey is a little bit more expensive than the other ones, but it's the orange blossom honey. And I only bought one other jug of this year, but as we go into fall baking, I know I'll use this a little bit more, and I have been using it in my granola. So I went ahead and grabbed one of those. This is the first month that I've actually bought their 50 pounds of potatoes, and they actually look really, really good. And then I bought a box of pears. They were on sale too, and they look really, really good. So I just need to lay them out so they can ripen. And then I got 1 big bag of this. I have been getting my flour at Costco, but I do want to get back into this because I really like this flour. And if you would like to see 5 unique fall winter products I bought from Azure, you can watch that video right here.